Welcome to Science versus Religion, the stem cell debate. Today we'll be delving headfirst into one of the most controversial debates of recent years, the use of embryos in stem cell research.
Embryonic stem cells are taken from 3 to 5 day old embryos and can develop into any kind of cell. This makes this field a very promising area of research that could lead to potential cures of previously chronic or terminal conditions. However, the embryos are killed in this process, which is causing a large amount of controversy.
Today we'll be interviewing Father Bob, a priest affiliated with the Catholic Church, and Dr. Tom, a current research associate in the development of new stem cell technology.
I guess a good place to start would be to ask, what are your personal views on stem cell research?
I am strongly against embryonic stem cell research. Life begins at the moment of conception. As soon as a sperm cell unites with an ovum, these two individual cells cease to be, and their union generates a new and distinct organism. The Bible could not be clearer. There is a psalm stating, "You formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb." This means that embryos are just humans covered by a mother's womb. From the moment of conception, God is grafting a person in the womb of a woman.
I believe that the potential of this technology is nothing short of amazing. If we can develop this technology further, the potential for medical progress is limitless. We could cure paralysis, organ failure, and gain priceless insight into the working of the cell.
Since embryos get destroyed anyway, due to chance, discarded embryos from IVF clinics, and from abortions, is there really any harm in using these embryos for research, since they will be destroyed regardless?
I view abortion as an abomination against God. We should not be encouraging this behavior by using these embryos for research. It just reinforces the ideal that treating human life as an object to be discarded is acceptable.
I don't believe there is any harm. If something is going to be destroyed anyway, why not use it for research? 70,000 embryos are discarded from in vitro fertilization in Australia alone. Surely a better use for them would be to further research.
Do you believe that the ends could justify the means regarding stem cell research? While embryos do get destroyed in the research process, does the fact that this research could lead to a potential cure for multitudes of diseases justify this?
I certainly hope not. Doing things for the greater good has caused many evils in the world. When one begins to think that killing embryos by experimenting on them is alright, since it could lead to a cure for disease, then how long before that line of thinking leads to the belief that experimenting on the terminally ill is fine due to the same premise?
To an extent, yes. We are destroying embryos in the name of research, but these embryos are no more alive than a skin or liver cell. It takes 2 weeks for an embryo to attach to the uterus. Up until that point, the cell can divide to become identical twins. Therefore, individual human life does not exist until the embryo attaches to the uterus. Embryos taken for research are 3 to 5 days old, so it is well before this cut-off point.
What are the alternatives to embryonic stem cell research, and what are the pros and cons of these alternatives?
Two alternatives that the Church is not opposed to are using adult stem cells and umbilical cord blood. These methods of research do not harm our fellow human beings. If less money was being used to further embryonic stem cell research, and instead used with adult stem cells, then adult stem cell research could progress further than embryonic stem cell research, making using embryos pointless.
Whilst adult stem cell research shows some promise, it has not shown to be nearly as effective in the treatment of disease as embryonic stem cell research. Adult stem cells are more difficult to procure and not as effective when used as treatments, and take longer to divide. Embryonic stem cells do not have these problems.